The Kansas City Chiefs are 5-0, and this being Sunday of their bye week, I thought I would chime in with what I understand completely as an outsider is that NFL teams often use the bye week or some portion of the bye week to take a step back, clear their minds, and say, okay, it's time to do some self-scouting. What is it that other teams are looking at when they see the Kansas City Chiefs? And I thought, what an interesting opportunity to take a step back from a franchise fan perspective and look at what the Kansas City Chiefs have done just a little bit, and then maybe reel it in with a little bit more perspective on this season itself. So just starting out, I did not know this. I did not know these numbers because I'm so close to the Kansas City Chiefs that I had lost a little bit of perspective on other franchises. Now, we know that the Patriots are the gold standard, right? That's what the Kansas City Chiefs are chasing, is that run had by the New England Patriots. And guys, every game that goes by, every season that finishes, it becomes more and more apparent that the Patriots and that run from 2000 to 2019, 2001 to 2019, that's the only team that the Kansas City Chiefs are chasing. The New England Patriots from 2001 to 2019 had 19 consecutive seasons of above 500 football. That is very impressive. That is extremely impressive in the most tumultuous league of professional sport, the most parodical league in professional sports. The Kansas City Chiefs currently find themselves at 11 consecutive seasons over 500. The Kansas City Chiefs currently find themselves 5-0 in this season. It is likely, at this point, more likely than not, that the Kansas City Chiefs find themselves at 12 consecutive seasons over 500. Now, I wanted to look around the NFL because the Ravens are consistently good. The Ravens are a franchise that has been relevant since 2000 with that Super Bowl. The Ravens are a franchise that has had one of the greatest general managers we are likely to see for some time in the NFL. And they have been a bit of a pain in the Chiefs' side. Maybe not ultimately, as in not season-endingly a pain in the side, but certainly there have been some good games between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. How far back do we have to go in order to find a losing season for the Baltimore Ravens? Just 2 years. In 2021, the Baltimore Ravens went 8-9. And it's not much further beyond that. In 2016, they went 8-8, not sub 500, but you get the picture. And in 2015, the very previous season, they went 5-11. So the Ravens, one of the most steadfast franchises in the NFL over the past 20 years, you only have to go back 2 seasons to find a losing record. Well, but the Ravens aren't really the big bad for the Kansas City Chiefs. The big bad for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bengals. The Bengals have ended the Kansas City Chiefs season in the playoffs. The Bengals have advanced to a Super Bowl in spite of Patrick Mahomes and these Kansas City Chiefs. How far back do you have to go to get a losing season for the Bengals? Now, I remembered this one. I knew that in 2020 they had a losing season. I didn't remember it being 4-11-1. So you only have to go back 3 seasons to find a losing season for the Bengals. I didn't remember it being 4-11-1 bad, but you only have to go back the prior season before they were 2-14. And you only have to go back the season before that to where they were 6-10. And you only have to go back the season before that, 2017, when they were 7-9. And then you only have to go back the season before that, 2016, to find the Bengals at 6-9-1. meaning the Bengals are a construct in our mind of the past 3 years. That's it. The Bengals fans can get rowdy on social media all they want. The Bengals fans can raise all of the hoot and holler they like. They have ended Patrick Mahomes' season, but we only have to go back 3 years before they were an absolute gutter franchise. Now, one thing I forgot to do, and I am noticing this now as I am making this video, I forgot to check on the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills really are one of the franchises that you would think would be top of mind for the Kansas City Chiefs, as Josh Allen has been one of the more sort of competitive quarterbacks with Patrick Mahomes. But, I mean, is he really? For the Buffalo Bills, we only have to go back to 2018 to find the Bills at 6-10. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons. So actually, egg on my face, they have had the longest run. Now, they were below 500 again in 2016, a record of 7-9, exactly 500 in 2015. And then you get back to 2013, and they have a spattering of 6-10s. 2013, 6-10, 2012, 6-10, 2011, 6-10, 2010, 4-12, 2009, 6-10. Before that, they had 3 consecutive 7-9 seasons. Consistency, at least, for the Bills. But again, we're not going that far back in time in order to find losing seasons for the Buffalo Bills as well. But okay, that's fine. That's the AFC side of things. That's what gets you to the Super Bowl, keeps you from the Super Bowl, etc. What about the team that the Kansas City Chiefs have played in the Super Bowl 2 times? And by played in the Super Bowl 2 times, what I mean is they've beaten in the Super Bowl twice. So obviously a little bit further away from the NFC teams. I don't pay as much attention to them until the playoffs come around. Probably you're in the same boat unless you have a second favorite team on the NFC side of the bracket, etc., or you live in an NFC market, etc. Guys, the 49ers go all the way back. 3 consecutive seasons of winning football. 2020, they went 6-10. 2018, 4-12. 2017, 6-10. 2016, 2-14. 2015, 5-11. And weirdly, going back through the 49ers records was one of those things that made me feel really old, because you go back just a little bit and you're looking at a Harbaugh, you're looking at a Kaepernick, and that feels like ages ago, right? Guys, it wasn't that long ago. Well, it was that long ago. I guess I've just seen too many NFL seasons. It wasn't that many percentage-wise for the NFL seasons that I have seen. But that was a different era of 49ers football. Different coach, different quarterback, different defense, everything. So one thing to hand to the 49ers is that they have been successful through different epochs of their franchise. This 11-year run for the Kansas City Chiefs has been roughly the same epoch. It's been 1 head coach, 2 quarterbacks, 2 defensive coordinators, and a smattering of people who claim to be an offensive coordinator. So this is, maybe pedantic. I can concede that. Maybe this is just some hullabaloo. Maybe this is sunshine pumping. I can't tell for sure. But, guys, the only team, and I don't know the records on, I think I know, that the Patriots with 19 consecutive seasons over 500, I believe that is a record. I don't know about what's second and what's third place, etc. But I do know what is second and third place for conference championship appearances, consecutive conference championship game appearances. The Patriots, during that run, had a portion of that run in which they appeared in 8 consecutive conference championship games. The Chiefs, as of last season, have appeared in 6 consecutive championship games. Now, here's one of the things that I want to stress with this. When I was growing up, so 2000, I went into high school. So when I was a kid, one of the proudest franchises in the NFL was the Raiders. That was one of the tip top. It was basically the Raiders and the Packers. And people may or may not remember this. Like JCPenney's catalogs, things like that, where you used to shop for things via mail, things like that. Basically, always there were 2 options available no matter where you were. You could order a Packers set of NFL bedspreads, NFL pajamas, whatever, or the Raiders. That was it. Those were the 2 franchises. Those were the big ones. You might be able to get the Kansas City Chiefs if you were in market, and I assume that was the same for most places. But basically, there was an AFC team and an NFC team, and those were the Packers and the Raiders. And part of the reason for that is the third place here for consecutive conference championship appearances is the Raiders from 1973 to 1977. That is a long time ago. I do not have the exact years on the Patriots, but it was between 2001 and 2019. The Raiders were seen as one of the proudest franchises in the NFL because they had a few Super Bowls. They do have a few Super Bowls, but they had that conference championship run of 5 consecutive appearances between 1973 and 1977. That was it. That was the creme de la creme for the NFL. Let's look back. There are 4 teams with 4 consecutive appearances. Well, 3 franchises, but 4 teams. The Cowboys did it twice, 67-70 and 92-95. The Bills did it from 90 to 93, one of the most famous failure franchises in all of sports history. And the Eagles did it from 2001 to 2004. That was, of course, under the tutelage of Andy Reid. The Raiders had previously been one of the franchises of franchises. This is what we're talking about with the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking about transcendence to the franchises of franchises. We are talking about the consecutive, you have all of these consecutive AFC West championships. It was just last year that the Kansas City Chiefs, or the year before perhaps, between the Raiders, the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Chargers, they had all 4 franchises were tied with the same amount of conference championships. Or pardon me, division championships. That only happened at the end of the Kansas City Chiefs going on, well, in the midst of the Kansas City Chiefs going on this massive run. The Kansas City Chiefs have not always been one of the proudest franchises in the sport. Now they are. So the reason I'm bringing this up, also, one real quick thing, obviously the Chiefs are tied for the record, for consecutive Super Bowl victories. 2, no one's ever done 3. They are 5-0 on their attempt to get a 12th straight winning season, to get a 7th straight conference championship game, and to get a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. The reason I bring all of this up is it's easy to get lost in the midst of this. The offense doesn't look great. The wide receivers are a wreck for the 3rd season in a row. The offensive tackle situation is disappointing. The defense simply could not replace L'Jarius Sneed. They were never going to. It was obviously not going to happen. The pass rush is Chris Jones and Tershawn Wharton for some reason. No one else gets home. No one else really gives pressure all that consistently. But if we zoom out a little bit more to the NFL level, NFL this season level, the Bengals are 1-4. They were supposed to be one of the primary threats to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. The Jets are 2-3, just fired their coach. They were supposed to be headed to the AFC Championship game. They were the hot pick. The Dolphins are 2-3. Who knows what the future holds for that organization as their quarterback cannot stay on the field. The Jaguars, who have been pretty good recently, they've been a playoff team recently. They were supposed to be, a playoff team this year. They're 1-5. Just lost to the Bears. Terrible. These teams, for sure, have bigger problems than the Kansas City Chiefs. The only team within one game of the Kansas City Chiefs on the AFC side of things is the Houston Texans. The upstart Houston Texans. And, hey, guys, looking at them, maybe they could win it all. They could. Looks like it. They haven't. The Kansas City Chiefs have. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I just wanted to jump on and share some of these types of numbers. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. I've been here every day consecutively, if we're talking about consecutives, for nearly 2 years now, and I hope to have you back for the next one.